Delray Beachman made his courageous air combat missions in World War II.
It's taken that long for the Navy to recognize his valor, but finally his medals are on the way.
Sean Kelly continues our 13 minutes of uninterrupted news. And Sean, why has it taken so long?
Tom, Tiffany, some of the pilots in his Navy squadron didn't do a very good job at keeping track of their combat missions. No one knew how many medals 78-year-old Norman Ross earned, and he may have never known either had he never asked.
That's December 1942. How many years is that now? 60, right?
The scrapbook Norman Ross keeps with the help of his wife is a condensed history of his patriotic service during World War II. There are pictures of Ross in his crisp Navy uniform and snapshots of B-24 Liberators like the ones he flew in dozens of times as a gunner and radio operator. What's missing are the stories about combat. Ross has always been troubled by those.
It's very difficult to talk about it to anybody, even in the family, about, stories, war stories, that kind of thing.
This retired teacher has spent the last 60 years waking up from nightmares about war. He flew in 60 air combat missions. A small frame filled with medals has been his decoration for heroism.
People know me as a teacher, an English teacher, somebody who performs in little shows here in the condo, as a golfer, and I would like them to know that there's a little more depth to me than that.
A couple months ago, Ross decided to contact the Navy for a review of his service.
I sent these copies of this to the Navy Department.
He mailed copies of his combat flight logs. Most of them had never been recorded by Navy clerks during the war. The Navy failed to recognize Ross's valor for all these years.
And I was like overwhelmed by the quantity of what I was supposed to receive. 9 additional air medals and 2 Distinguished Flying Crosses.
Any day now, Ross expects his medals to arrive at the door in unceremonious fashion. But for him, the new decorations will be a cleansing of difficult emotions from war, and they'll tell stories about Ross's courage without him saying a word. The Southern Command of the United States Navy plans on having a proper medal presentation ceremony for Ross sometime at the end of January. A fitting honor.
Yeah, well deserved. Thank you, Sean.
Maybe it'll give him more sense of closure.